50 years ago, October 3rd, Hurricane Hilda made a sudden turn north in the Gulf, bringing Category 3 winds into South Louisiana. Winds of up to 135 miles per hour were recorded in Franklin. In all, 38 people were killed. One of the hardest hit communities was Erath. Hilda, or a tornado spun off by the hurricane, sent a full water tower tank hurtling straight down on the town hall where men were monitoring the storm. 8 of the men were killed.
The people of Erath are still very solemn about it. No one really talked about it for years after it happened until we started asking questions and trying to document the history back in 1999 for Erath Centennial. And everybody just spoke with it still to this day with a great sense of sadness. You know, eight of our men died in service to their town. And I mean, that's about the ultimate sacrifice that you can make for your community.
Only 7 years after the lethal Hurricane Audrey, people listened to evacuation orders. One of them was a young Erath resident named John LeBlanc.
We had evacuated to Lafayette, my wife and I, and then when we heard the water tower had fallen, I knew all of these people, and we finally were able to come back in the following day. And when I got into town, it was like there was a lull over the town. It was just something eerie. Drove into town. They were in the process of lifting the tank off of the building. And after that, we went to work removing the bodies.
The joint funeral for all 8 victims attracted an overflow crowd to Our Lady of Lourdes Catholic Church, among them Governor John McKithen. 7 priests were called in to perform graveside rites. One of the priests officiated the graveside of a pair of brothers who died in the disaster.
We had the 8 bodies in church, no electricity, stifling hot. Raised the windows and opened the doors and tried to get some circulation. People were fainting, and it was just unbelievable. The wake went through the night. Church people there, candlelight only. You know, you hear people crying, and then the next morning, the funeral was at 10 o'clock. And the funeral was about to start when Governor McKithen flew into Abbeville, and then drove him here to Erath. And church was full, so standing out in the churchyard and across the street into the schoolyard.
Memorials to the fallen heroes may be seen at Our Lady of Lourdes and at the town hall. Robert Vincent and teacher Stacy Bowden decided to do more, collecting photos and interviewing witnesses for a documentary.
Every year we get 1 year removed from the tragedy. People that lived through it, people who actually affected by it, are passing away, and the memory's starting to fade. We couldn't let it go.
Here are the names of the 8 Erath men who died during Hurricane Hilda. A memorial mass is scheduled for 11 a.m. Sunday at Our Lady of Lourdes Catholic Church in Erath. The Bowden-Vincent documentary will be shown immediately following the mass. Read more about the making of the documentary in an Acadiana People column beginning Saturday night at theadvertiser.com and in a print version in Sunday's Daily Advertiser. The still photos and 1964 film footage are courtesy of Robert Vincent.